Spend the afternoon with Merv Griffin, weekdays at 4.
Now stay tuned for the NFL Today. Next on WJBK TV2 Detroit.
NFL Today is sponsored by the 1982 Rabbit. Nothing else is a Volkswagen. True Value Hardware Stores. True Value, more than just a name. It's our way of doing business. And by United Airlines. United invites you to come fly the friendly sky. And now, from Candlestick Park in San Francisco, here's Brent Musburger.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the NFC Championship, where the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers will decide who will play the Cincinnati Bengals in Super Bowl 16. The Bengals downing San Diego earlier today, 27-7. But Phyllis, because of the weather, that was more of a survival test than a game.
Absolutely, but the weather here is perfect today, everyone. It's absolutely beautiful in San Francisco. It's about 55 degrees, not a cloud in the sky, no hint of rain, sunshine everywhere, as you can see. The wind that usually twirls around Candlestick Park isn't apparent, but it's going to be a perfect day for football.
The problem here in Candlestick has been the running surface. You can see by this graphic how much trouble the premier running backs in all of football have had. Tony Dorsett on Dallas's last trip here, 21 yards. Earl Campbell, slightly better. Walter Payton of the Bears, 97 yards. And George Rogers of New Orleans, the only running back to gain better than 100. Right now, you are looking at Tony Dorsett. He's the key figure as he gets ready for this NFC Championship game. Now, Irv Cross has been out with Dorsett, watching him cut. And Irv, how's he taking to the sod today?
Brent, Tony told me he's been out testing the field, making some pretty sharp cuts to see how it would hold up. It's pretty soft in spots, but he feels very comfortable with it. I think there's been too much talk about this playing surface. I talked to Al Levan, the running back coach for the Dallas Cowboys. He said in our offense, Tony Dorsett is splash and go, and he should be able to do that today. Brent?
Revenge, of course, is always a factor in handicapping a football game. And we would have to give a big check to the Dallas Cowboys, as Drew Pearson points out.
Nothing will be finer than get another chance at the San Francisco 49ers. We'll teach them not to toy with the Dallas Cowboys. I know the mud will be thick in Candlestick, but on Sunday, all they'll say is that it's D-Day on the Bay. Ha ha ha.
The first time they played in San Francisco, though, and it was the 49ers who did all the chuckling. They ripped apart a young Cowboys secondary that had not yet come together. And it was an embarrassing defeat for Tom Landry and the Cowboys.
It was a bitter feeling to go out there and to lose the way we lost. You know, we really didn't take them, I believe, that serious.
I was embarrassed for the city of Dallas. I was embarrassed for our loyal fans down here that love to win, that hate to be embarrassed.
It was just depressing that day, and we hope to avenge that.
3 rookie starters in the 49ers secondary. And with this victory over the Dallas Cowboys, they convinced football experts that they were for real, led by Ronnie Lott.
I think we're going to see a different team. I think you're going to see a better team. Dallas has a lot of talent, and it was just one of those days that they weren't ready to play, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be ready to play this time.
And a week ago, it was this interception by Lott that sealed up the victory over the Giants. And then in the post-game excitement, 49er owner Ed DeBartolo unintentionally started a verbal war.
I heard Dorsett on the television saying that if they come out here, that it's going to be vindictive. And all I can say to him is they ate it once, they can eat it again.
Surprised to hear an owner even talk that way, so maybe that may, you know, I thought they were a little more classy organization than that, but, you know, that's what he chooses to say, then that's what he chooses to say. But this is the player's game, not the owner's game. The owner, he'll sit up there in his box, drink his wine and his caviar and all that, and sit down and try to watch his team. So it doesn't make a difference to me what he says.
The verbal war, always a part of the pregame hype before a big game. Surprisingly, the most outspoken player has been Too Tall Jones of the Dallas Cowboys. And the countdown to the NFC Championship continues on CBS in just a moment.
At Volkswagen, we pull rabbits off our American assembly line at random and give them this little test. We test every weld to make absolutely sure the metal breaks before the weld does. There's no law in any book that says we have to do this, but we let some rabbits die so that yours will live longer.
The January True Value of the Month is here at your True Value hardware store. It's your choice of the Servest 6.5-inch long nose or diagonal pliers, now just $2.19 each. And you'll get powerful repair help with this Master Mechanic staple gun, now only $7.58. And this efficient, fast bonding electric glue and caulk gun is just $6.98. Find all these exceptional tool values at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Why do 100,000-mile flyers choose United?
People think I get too wound up about time. But when I have to be in a certain place at a certain time, I sure don't want to run slow. United's got great schedules, just about anywhere business takes me, with lots of convenient times to choose from. So in business calls, I don't waste a second. I call United.
United flies to more of the top 100 cities than anyone, so people who fly for a living fly United's friendly skies.
We're just a few minutes away from the kickoff, and the fans, as you can hear in the background, are ready for this game. You know, last week we used a device that turned out to be very popular in our game. It was the use of a chalkboard. Well, this week we've got 2 new men behind the control, Vin Scully and Hank Stram, to tell us a little more about it. Fellas, what about it?
Okay, Phyllis, thank you. As you can well imagine, there'll be a great deal of maneuvering here today, so Hank will be in charge of the CBS chalkboard. We'll reintroduce it to you, and first of all, let's brush up your memory a bit. Last week, there was a key play. Joe Montana made a good fake to Earl Cooper. Dan Audick, the left tackle, pulled, and Ricky Patton went 25 yards for a touchdown. That's the way it happened live. Now, take a look at chalkboard. Henry?
Here's what happened. Here's Dan Audick, the left tackle of the San Francisco 49ers. He pulls to the right and winds up knocking down. He really splatters 2 people on the play. Cooper fakes inside to hold the linebacker. Patton gets the ball here and jumps to the outside and goes into the end zone unmolested for the touchdown. San Francisco touchdown, 7 points.
I think that's shades of, well, let's see, maybe take a look at it now.
Here we see it again. Audick pulls to the right, knocks down 2 people. Patton jumps to the outside and goes into the end zone unmolested for the touchdown.
Well, we'll be looking forward to those scribblings, those of us who love Jackson Pollock and all of the others. I hope you'll initial it in the lower right-hand corner sometime during the broadcast.
I'm going to initial it, but I don't know how I can give it to you because I might break the glass.
All right. And with that, let's go back to the NFL today.
Thank you, Vinny. If the Cowboys are to win this game today, chances are they're going to have to depend on one of their talkative and talented game breakers. So, folks, stop, look, and listen for Johnson, Pearson, and Hill.
I feel that the excitement starts when I get the ball.
Weapons in a big play offense, yet by their own reckoning, they have been underpaid, underappreciated, and underused.
Well, we don't get the recognition we deserve.
I think the major reason why we don't get the respect we deserve is because of the amount of catches we have.
If I don't get the ball thrown, there's nothing I can do.
With the ball, they can be marvelous. Last game of the '79 season, Cowboys down by 6 to the Redskins. Star back to Tony Hill with less than a minute to play. Dallas clinches the East. Washington's season is over.
A big rush by
New Orleans, 1978. Early in the third quarter, a 45-yard pass to a stretched-out Butch Johnson breaks open a close game. And the Cowboys go on to win their second Super Bowl, 27-10 over Denver.
Right up there.
Remember this? 1975, the playoffs. Dallas down by 4 with 20 seconds left. They call it the Hail Mary. Somehow Drew Pearson got the ball and Dallas went on to the Super Bowl. One-on-one football, it's what gives a wide receiver a unique position in a team game.
Well, I guess wide receivers are, a little cocky.
Very egotistical. Good looking.
Yeah, wide receivers have style. They have class. They know how to dress. They know how to deal with people.
And they have to have the trademark spike. With Tony Hill, it's the modest wings of victory pose. With Drew Pearson, it used to be the double pump windmill until he tore up a knee. So now Butch Johnson's spike stands alone.
Personally, I have the best in the West, in the East, in the North, and the South.
He calls it the California Quake. It's so good it inspired a dance. Black tie and tails.
The whole dancing thing was called the Cowboy Spike, and our theme was we're going to dance our way to the Super Bowl.
But despite all the fun, there have been problems for the Cowboy wide receivers. Johnson wants more playing time, Hill more money, and Pearson almost quit because of a contract dispute.
I was very serious at that time. I just felt that I couldn't play for what they were paying me.
Playing with the Cowboys, I can't expect to be independently wealthy. I have to depend upon somebody of the salary I'm making.
The problem really lies in being a solo artist in a team game, especially when that team is the Dallas Cowboys.
The first thing when you come here is you hear team. You don't hear I, you hear we.
We got so many superstars and everybody wants a piece of the pie, so we have to cut in small pieces.
And Coach Bill Walsh says the Cowboys will need big plays from their receivers in order to win today. Brent, I spoke with Danny White yesterday, and he said percentage-wise, he'll probably be throwing to Tony Hill a lot more than the others.
Interesting observation. The crowd today in San Francisco, quieter than it was last Sunday before the New York Giant game. And the countdown to kickoff on CBS continues in just a moment.
Do you have ice hockey by Activision?
Think you're ready for it? One of the roughest video games around for your Atari game system? Ready to battle for the puck?
Well...
To inflict fierce body checking? Furious stick checking? Ruthless tripping? You really think you're ready for all that?
I'm ready!
Fine. Cash your charge.
Ice hockey by Activision!
Right now, you can rent any size gasoline-powered truck and rider's fleet for one low daily rate, plus a variable mileage charge. Want a nice little truck? That's the daily rate. How about a little bigger? Same rate. You want one way out to here? Still the same. When Ryder rents trucks at this price, we almost hate to let them go.
Ryder, $29.95 a day for the best truck money can rent.
Give that man.
Well, I would say give that man a blue ribbon. That'd be, he's drinking the finest.
Give that man the original, the best, the tradition.
You can tell it the way the beer is brewed. You can taste the pride.
And that's what it's all about, is give that man a cold beer. And that's what Blue Ribbon's all about.
Make it past Blue Ribbon. You got the gig. That's my philosophy.
Blue Ribbon beer.
Irv is on the field checking numbers. And Irv, what does 13 mean to today's championship?
Brett, number 13 is a lucky number for Super Bowl champions because Miami, Oakland, and the Pittsburgh Steelers all won at least 13 regular season games when they went on to become Super Bowl champions. Now, the San Francisco 49ers are the first NFC team since the merger to win 13 times. Now, while the Super Bowl is their ultimate dream, going from worst to first in a few short years is nothing to be ashamed of. Candlestick Park has been the home of the 49ers since 1971. San Francisco had enjoyed only 3 winning seasons there, and when head coach Bill Walsh arrived in 1978, he inherited a team whose future appeared as bleak as their past.
Once I got involved with the 49ers, I realized honestly how far down they had gotten. At this point, we have 9 players remaining off the team that we inherited. And that was just 3 years ago. At one point, I thought, I'm not sure. Maybe I can get part of it done, but I'm not sure I can get it all done. But it's worked out.
All we gotta do, let's hit him like we always do. Let's fly at him, baby. Ready? No turning back.
In the past, the defense was a failure. Now it is a force. Wise trades, key acquisitions, and intelligent drafting brought stars like number 42, cornerback Ronnie Lott, defensive end Fred Dean, Jack Reynolds, Dwight Hicks, and Carlton Williamson.
Our defense is the backbone of our whole team because, you know, we have a lot of confidence in them, so we can take a lot of chances on offense.
The guys are competitive. They play hard. If the game's tight, we believe that we can win and that we will win, and we go out and fight.
Under Walsh, the 49ers have an innovative and flexible attack, an offense that this season has been virtually unstoppable.
I think, Irv, the key to this particular ball club, maybe more so than any team we've seen in recent years, is the chemistry on the team, between the coaches and the players, and between the players and each other.
We're just a group of guys that like working together, and we get along. I mean, we don't love each other, but we just get along.
This is a winning team, not only in talent and in preparation, but this is a winning team in attitude.
Dallas found out about that attitude earlier this season when they were trounced 45-14.
We know we can stand up to them physically, so I think it should be a great game against one of the truly great organizations and football teams that the league has seen, against a young team that just doesn't know how to lose.
There's a hungry kind of feeling, and every day it grows. You know there's so much more to you than anybody knows.
In the Army, we do more before 9 a.m. than most people do all day.
Hey, First Sergeant. Good morning.
We need you in the Army.
Good service is no big thing. It's a million little things. That's why every Avis car gets 9 safety checks, 7 comfort checks, and 6 cleanliness checks. Matter of fact, the average Avis car is better maintained than the average family car. See, Avis knows good service is making a big deal about little things. Right? Trying harder is still the best way to do business.
If you use unleaded super, you could be burning more octane and spending more money than you have to.
We're doing something about it.
At Sunoco, we give our customers a choice. If they need high octane, they can use our Unleaded Plus. It's got all the octane most cars need, costs less than our super. and only Sunoco has it.
Switching to Sunoco's Plus was a big plus for my pocket.
We're doing something about it.
The key matchup in this game features San Francisco's offensive line against the Doomsday Quartet. Jimmy the Greek got some thoughts. Mole Harvey Martin.
It's going to be a war. It'll be a street fight.
Kind of like legalized mugging.
Down here in the trenches is where today's game will be won or lost, as most games are. So if the 49ers can control the Dallas front four, Joe Montana will have time to pick apart the young Dallas secondary. But if they don't, forget about it, because Too Tall Jones and his buddies will invade and sack.
Picture perfect was the way to describe the performance of a healthy Cowboys defensive line against Tampa last weekend. When it wasn't Too Tall Jones, it was Harvey Martin making life miserable for Doug Williams. The Cowboys hope to repeat their 4-sack performance against Joe Montana and the 49ers today.
He threw a lot of deep passes as well as short passes, and most of them are on timing. So what we're going to try and do is hopefully penetrate in there and get our hands up and try and offset his timing a little bit. If so, I think we can be effective against him.
Bill Walsh's complex offense continually found holes in the Giants' coverage last week. But for a team to score through the air, its quarterback must have time.
It's the key to the game. If we can keep him off Joe, Joe's had a tendency to kind of give some people some problems. And the longer we can stay on the field, the less time their offense will be on the field. We're very, very confident as a line. In fact, you might call us cocky, but we don't get too much of a chance to display it, maybe as much as an Ed Jones does. And, you know, people make comments and people say things, and, you know, we'll see what's being said Monday.
The talking stops and the bone crushing begins shortly. It may not be pretty.
In most wars, there's a victor and there's a loser. And we're just going to win. We're going to win the war.
Jimmy the Greek is in the hottest streak he's ever had on the NFL today. He has picked every playoff game so far. Jimmy, what about this one?
Brent, you know what heads or tails are? That's how close this game is. In whatever category you want to look at it. The offensive lines will both give their quarterbacks plenty of time, which will make this game a high-scoring game. There is only one difference. There is a Dorsett, and this field is not in too bad a condition. Tony should do 85 or 90 yards just to give Dallas a little bit of an edge. That's all I can say about it. A little bit of an edge.
And the countdown to the championship game between the Cowboys and the 49ers continues on CBS in just a moment.
How do you know exactly when to shift gears to get top gas mileage? Until now, only an engineer could tell you that. But now there's a car that can tell you. How does it tell you? By making this little dashboard light go on. Shift up each time you see it and you can save up to 7% on gas. Where can you find that kind of science fiction technology? In the 1982 Volkswagens, in case you hadn't guessed.
Our race team has over $100,000 invested in this race car, so we protect our investment with Kendall Motor Oil.
I don't drive a race car, but I have a big investment of my own to protect. So I use Kendall Superb 100 gas-saving motor oil. Its special friction fighters keep my car running smooth and help save gas. You don't have to own a race car to need Kendall protection. You just have to own a car.
Protect your investment with Kendall Confidence.
Football is also a chess game, and we have two of the masters, Tom Landry of Dallas and Bill Walsh here.
We would like to think our game plan will knock people off balance early, and we try to change up enough, and we try to assert ourselves enough offensively so that the other team's game plan on defense doesn't force us to do certain things.
Our philosophy from the Cowboy standpoint, we play much more of a ball control game. We rely much more on the running game and good defense, really, than say, Bill Walsh does.
Defensively, It's our hope that we're faster than Dallas is used to, that we have more team speed, that those plays they attempt we can circumvent because of our team speed.
The San Francisco defense is much like the Eagles, the Giants. They're a three-man front. They're a very strong defensive team, very aggressive turnover football team. Therefore, when you attack them offensively, you can't risk the turnovers.
Turnovers can make the difference because the teams are so evenly matched. And if you throw the interception or two that gives the other team field position, or you fumble, or if we can intercept or recover fumbles, that probably will be the difference in this ball game.
I think that we want to win badly. I think we're going to work hard to do it, and I think we're going to play hard to try to do it. Now, whether it comes out that way or not, I don't know.
I think the winning team will probably score 4 touchdowns, and the loser probably score 3 touchdowns, to be my guess. But I do know this. We have every bit of confidence that we can play well, and I hope that the winner goes on and wins the Super Bowl.
Final thoughts. Let's go to Irv and my 2 favorite quarterbacks. Irv?
All right, Brent. Roger, who do you like and why? I think Tom Landry has had a history of taking advantage of a team's either weakness or inexperience in the playoffs. The 49ers have an inexperienced secondary. I think the Cowboys will take advantage of it, figure out a way to do it. That'll make the difference in the game. Dallas will win. Roger Staubach likes the Dallas Cowboys. Terry, who do you like?
Well, this is tough for me being an active player, but I have to go with the 49ers. I think the home field advantage here is one plus for them. They're going to need all they can get. The other thing is I don't think you're going to see the Walsh offense give you the same formation or the same play in the entire day. I think that's the difference. It matches up well with the Dallas Cowboy defense.
All right, we're tied down here. Phyllis?
Irv, in my conversation with Danny White, he pointed out this is where they blew it last year in the championship game, and they didn't like watching it on TV. So there's a tremendous will to win on the part of the Cowboys. I'm going to go with the team I've been going along with all season long, the Cowboys.
Right. You know, Phyllis, I'm just going to say one thing. Whoever scores first is going to win this game. The entire tournament has gone that way so far. Sit back and relax. Here come the 49ers and the Cowboys on CBS.
Simon and Simon.
Have you ever heard of somebody scalping tickets for a concert? Seats that didn't exist?
Rick and AJ tangle with a naive rock star and ruthless racketeers in a counterfeit ticket scam.
It's only rock and roll, but I love it.
Joey Travolta guest stars on Simon and Simon, Tuesday.
Monday, Snoopy's flying high when he joins the big top in Life is a Circus, Charlie Brown. Then Can TV Survive Bugs Bunny's all-new Mad World of Television, Monday.
This is CBS.
Thanks a lot.
Enjoy them.
Henry, what's going on here?
I had seat belts installed.
In the living room.
So we can watch Live at 5.
Live at 5?
TV2's hour-long news program. You've never seen anything like it. You don't just watch it, you live it. It's exciting. It's spontaneous. It's as unpredictable as the news itself.
But, Henry, seat belts?
Come on, Ruth, it's 5 o'clock.
Put some excitement in your life. Watch Live at 5.
Hold on, Ruth. Here comes the first story.
Blue Cross Blue Shield eliminates much of the administrative paperwork other health care plans require. That's why we bank on Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. The more paperwork they do, the more of our own we can do.
We've never found anyone who can wrap up health care benefits, including master medical and dental, with more value than Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Michigan. It adds a little touch of Christmas to every day of the year.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Michigan. It's good to belong.
Nowhere else but Burger Chef. Nowhere else.
Our mushroom burger. You never tasted anything like this. Our thicker, juicier patty, Swiss cheese, and sautéed mushrooms, all on our fresh bakery bun.
Mushrooms. Nowhere else but Burger Chef. Nowhere else but Burger Chef.
Now you can get your own Super Bowl 16 commemorative mug and a medium Dr. Pepper for only 99 cents. Nowhere else but Burger Chef.
They're guests galore, weekdays at 4 on Merv Griffin.
San Francisco, California, a city known for its restaurants, its cable cars,
the Golden Gate Bridge, but not for its professional sports teams. No pro team has ever brought a major world championship to San Francisco. And yet, this afternoon, the football 49ers stand just 2 steps away from a Super Bowl title. Their hurdle today is more than formidable. The Dallas Cowboys, a team whose tradition is as rich as San Francisco's is barren. Dallas this afternoon seeks a record 6th trip to the Super Bowl. And what of the fans here at Candlestick Park? Are they ready? Cowboys and the 49ers today for the NFC Championship and a place with the Cincinnati Bengals in Super Bowl 16.
Sports presents the National Football League. Today, the Dallas Cowboys against the San Francisco 49ers.
Everybody talks about the weather, and here's the way it shapes up. 58 degrees, a light breeze, chance of rain, none. Clear and mild after 6.5 inches of rain earlier in the week. Hi, everybody. I'm Vin Scully. Welcome to Candlestick Park. In the words of Herb Caen, the great San Francisco columnist, it's more like the box that Disneyland came in. With me, a fellow who knows all about the euphoria of victory, particularly in the Super Bowl, Hank Stram. And Hank, in looking at the visiting Dallas Cowboys, you could put a lot of labels on them, but certainly one would be deceptive.
Yeah, they are a very deceptive team, and the biggest deception of all is the fact that they are not a physical team. They are a very physical team, and in conjunction with that same thought, they do a very good job of deception with their running offense, their passing offense, and through that media, why they do a great job of springing their great running back, Tony Dorsett.
Well, we all know about the success, of course, of the Dallas Cowboys and Tom Landry, the upstart San Francisco 49ers. What do they have to do to win?
Well, they, too, are a very deceptive team, Ben. They do a good job of play-action passes and fooling people with formations. They must be able to block the front four of the Dallas Cowboys, and how they do that remains to be seen, but if they do, they'll do a very good job here this afternoon.
Okay, Hank. Bill Walsh, the young coach who has brought the San Francisco 49ers literally from nowhere to a place in the sun today. Tom Landry, who has his magnificent career. He has been in 30 playoff games. He has won 18 and lost 12. 5 times to the Super Bowl, and right now Ray Wersching teeing up the ball, and it is interesting that this great American game could very well be decided by the kickers, and it would be decided then by perhaps Ray Wersching, as you look at James Jones, or Rafael Septien. Wersching, the son of a Yugoslav carpenter who was born in Austria, kicking off, and we are about ready to get the championship game underway. In the far corner and allowing it to go out at the last minute, so they'll have to re-kick it. Timmy Newsom not making any return at all. So they'll have to move it back 5 years. Just to illustrate the point, you have Wersching, whose father was a soccer player, a Yugoslav, and Ray Wersching born in Austria. You have Rafael Septien, whose dad was twice on a Mexico City World Cup soccer team. And it could very well be when we get down to this, the kickers will decide it.
Yeah, usually in a big game like this one, it's normally turnovers, a kicking game, and field position that really make the difference. And Tim Newsom, talking about field position, did a good job that time of letting the ball bounce out of bounds, so they have to go back 5 more yards to kick off again.
We mentioned the word soccer quite often, and probably in the NFL, upon close study, the only 2 regular kickers coming to mind would be Mark Mosley of Washington and Rick Danmeyer of Minnesota. So Ray Wersching, 9 years out of California, and Danny White waiting for his chance to get his hands on the ball. So Jones is the middleman, and Jones going over near Newsom, and it'll be Newsom starting at the 7, to the 20, to the 25, hit and down he goes. Danny Bunge tried to hook him. Carlton Williamson, number 27, and Bobby Leopold, 52, brought him down. Let's take a look now at the Cowboys offensively. Danny White with his running backs Dorsett and Springs, and the wide receivers Hill and Pearson. The tight end is Billy Joe Dupree, and it'll be Donovan, Scott, Rafferty, Peterson, and Cooper up front. 1st and 10 on the Dallas 26 as we started off in 58-degree weather in San Francisco. Slot left. Drew Pearson and Tony Hill in the slot. That's Dorsett, the deep man out of the eye. And they'll go to Dorsett. Ron Springs blocking for him, and he picked up about 2 yards. The block, however, was not enough, and Dorsett goes down with tackles by Carlton Williamson and Willie Harper. Here's the way San Francisco will stack up. Jim Stuckey, Archie Reese, and Dwayne Ward up front in the 3-4. The linebackers, Harper, Reynolds, Pookie, and despite having chicken pox, Keena Turner, the right outside linebacker. Lott, Wright, Williamson, and Hicks in the secondary. So it is 2nd and 8 from the 28. This time, Tony Hill and Drew Pearson go slot right, and Ron Springs, a wide receiver, left. So Dorsett is all alone behind Danny White. White going over to the right side, no good. It was behind the intended receiver, Ron Springs, and he was being shadowed by Carlton Williamson. Jack Reynolds putting a good pinch in on the passer.
Carlton Williams did a good job. I think they tried to get Springs, number 20, on 27, man for man. And they had a pretty good situation, but the ball was thrown, as you see, very obviously thrown poorly on the play. One thing that we can look for, I think the 49ers definitely want to make sure that they keep Tony Dorsett. They want him to run toward the boundaries. They don't want him to get squared away and run upfield, because he does that so very well.
You know, Dallas was 6 for 13 in third down conversions last week. They're a little better than 50% now. Let's see what they do out of the shotgun. On a 3rd and 8 for Danny White. Down he goes. He's hit by Dwayne Ward, 3 years out of North Carolina A&T.
And that time they had Dean in the game on the obvious passing situation. He rushed to the outside, but Ward, number 76. Watch him come into the picture here. He does a good job of getting penetration and making the tackle right up the middle. It was a stunt. Ward is a defensive right end. Played tackle that time and came right up the middle on the inside.
So a loss of 11, and it's at 4th and 19. The ball on the 17-yard line. Danny White, dangerous, of course, as a passer, even out of punt formation. But this time, no monkey shines as he hangs it high to the left side. Freddie Solomon standing back, dodging a bullet at the 35-yard line, running laterally, got away from Guy Brown, still on his feet, and he's going to be finally knocked down. Steve Wright and also King, number 57, making the tackle. So Steve Wright and Angelo King bringing him down as he ran laterally across the 35-yard line. Here's the way San Francisco stacks up. Montana at the wheel with Lenville Elliott starting in place of Ricky Patton and Earl Cooper. Fred Solomon and Dwight Clark, the wide receivers. Charlie Young, the tight end, and up front, Audick, Ayers, Quillen, Cross, and Farnhorst. The front 5 started all 16 games this year.
They'll throw the ball on 1st and 10. That's their personality, and they'll do it on this first play of the game, according to what Bill Walsh mentioned to us before this contest got underway.
So it'll be a 1st and 10. The ball on the San Francisco 37-yard line. And, of course, for San Francisco, multiple receivers. Among other things to keep in mind, Wall easily tried the halfback pass once this year. Freddie Solomon threw a 25-yard pass against Dallas, and Dwight Clark has passed.
Let's see if they block the tight end down on Too Tall Jones, number 72. They do.
Montana throwing to the right side. He's got Mike Schumann, who is knocked out of bounds at about the 48 by Everson Walls, the brilliant rookie out of Grambling. Very close as on the first play. It picks at Everson Walls.
Here he comes, and Everson is turned inside. He breaks to the outside. Schumann is a good possession, kind of a pass receiver. But the key was that the tight end Young blocked down that time on the defensive end, Too Tall Jones.
So they picked up the first down, first shot out of the barrel. Freddie Solomon going wide left. Charlie Young's on the right side. Montana looks left, then fakes to Cooper and throws in a crowd. No good. Intended for Lenville Elliott coming out of the backfield. He was hit hard by Michael Downs and D.D. Lewis. And by the way, D.D. Lewis, number 50 for the Cowboys, establishing a record. And talking about the defense, up front, Ed Jones. Larry Bethea is starting for John Dutton, who has a ruptured blood vessel in his leg. Randy White and Harvey Martin. The backers are Hegman, Brunig, and Lewis. At the corners, Walls and Thurman. At the safeties, Waters and Downs. So for Joe Montana, it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 47. And he'll go to Earl Cooper. He has Ayers trying to block, and he gets across the 50-yard line to the 49. Ayers was going wide, and Cooper just left him and cut back and got to the 49 where Anthony Dickerson made the tackle.
You know, talking to Bill Walsh before the game, he has a short list of about 25 plays, usually between 20 and 25 plays, and he follows that format during the game. He said going into the game that probably the 25 plays, 16 were passers.
Now as we see a 3rd and 7 from the Cowboy 49, Mike Schumann goes wide left, and Mike Wilson goes wide right. Clark comes out of the backfield. Solomon stays in the backfield. Montana chased by Bethea, throws on the run, and the catch is made by Charlie Young at the 32-yard line. The tight end came back to pick up the first down.
And the key, really, Too Tall Jones. Watch him, the defensive left end, number 72. He goes outside, takes a good angle, gets good angle on Montana, but he throws the ball. He throws the ball beautifully to Young. Watch Too Tall Jones. Watch him throw away the offensive tackle, Farnhorst, and in hot pursuit of Montana, but in spite of that, he still completed the pass.
Well, it's his second first down on the drive. 1st and 10 on the Cowboy 32-yard line. In motion is Freddie Solomon. Montana with Cooper leading him, going left, throwing long. He's got Lenville Elliott, and he's brought down at the 8-yard line by Bob Brunig. 1st and goal, San Francisco.
And that's what they love to do. They love to get man-for-man coverage. They have Solomon on the right side. Elliott came on the outside of the offensive tackle, broke down the field and back outside to the flag. He had a one-for-one situation on a linebacker, it looked like, and that's why he was open. The ball was right on the money, and the ball now is on the 8.
1st and goal on the Cowboy 8. Dwight Clark splits wide right. Solomon goes left, and Bill Ring is in there now, along with Earl Cooper. Solomon in motion, picked up by Dennis Thurman. Montana throwing short to Solomon, who goes over.
Solomon comes over to the right in motion and then breaks out into the flat. There's a rollout pass. He's open in the flat. Does a good job of running through the defensive back and goes into the end zone for the touchdown. A beautiful executed play
Dennis
by the
Thurman
49ers.
picked him up when he was in motion, but he was able to play a little too loose, and Solomon took advantage of it.
I think he got a kind of a pick on him too, Ben, which made a difference.
And just like that, automatic Ray Wershing, who was 30 for 30 during the regular season, he's now 6 for 6. Take another look at the pass to Solomon.
They moved the pocket that time, rolled out to the right. He delivers the ball right on the money. Thurman tries to make the tackle, does not wrap him up, does not use his arms, and he goes in for the touchdown.
I've had to write some tough things about some tough guys. But there's one guy I can't write anything bad about. His unique brand of baseball has made him a living legend. So have his commercials. They got me to try his favorite beer, light beer from Miller. Light's less filling, and it really tastes great. So I bought this light for that renowned, yet humble man, Marv Thrunker.
Cheer up, Billy. One day you'll be famous just like me.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
I'm a small businessman. When I stopped running around the courts, I started running my own restaurant. and I needed all the help I could get. So I went to Xerox for some coaching. They have the widest range of copiers to choose from, the largest service team around, and they'll even arrange financing, which are things even a big businessman can appreciate.
Hi, John.
Like my friend Pee-wee here.
Call Xerox at 800-648-5888.
Well, with 10 minutes and 41 seconds left to go in the first quarter, the 49ers, starting on their own 37, marched 63 yards with the big play, 6 plays, and Solomon catching one for 8. The biggest play was that lengthy pass from the Cowboy 32 to the 8-yard line to Linville Elliott. Worthing's kick will be short. Coming up for it is James Jones at the 10. To the 20. Got by McCall. Hit by Bobby Leopold. And Leopold slings him down at about the 27-yard line. Talking about that play to Linville Elliott, let's go to Hank.
Here is Clark right in here, and here's Elliott. And what happens on the play, Clark goes to the outside to pick the linebacker and then breaks to the inside. Elliott goes inside of here, just like this, and then breaks to the outside. He's got D.D. Lewis covering man for man. Couldn't do it. That's why the big play. Let's take a look. There you see the motion. Now watch Clark go down the field and then break into the middle. Elliott breaks right underneath and breaks to the outside with coverage by D.D. Lewis. Can't cover him, and a big play for the 49ers.
First and 10 on the Cowboy 29, and White fakes once, throws to Billy Joe Dupree, who is surrounded at the 33-yard line, hit by Keena Turner, among others, but there was also Craig Pookie there and Jack Reynolds. The White making his connection. He's 1 for 2, is Danny. Tom Landry, incredible, the 3rd winningest coach in NFL history behind George Halas and Curly Lambeau. 9 championship games, his previous record 5 and 3. So it'll be 2nd and 5, moving the ball just shy of the 35 yards for White. Springs and Dorsett, and it'll be Dorsett wide open, upended across the 40. Dwight Hicks, number 22, hit him first, and then coming over was Eric Wright.
And that's what the 49ers have to be careful of. You know, he runs so well when he has his shoulder square to the line of scrimmage. Good blocking at the point of attack by the left side, Donovan Scott, and also the center, Rafferty, and he pops right through there. But anytime he has a straight shot for the goal line, he is really tough, and you got to head him off with the pass by trying to encourage him to go sideways.
First and 10 on the Cowboy 42. Tony Hill, Drew Pearson, that's Billy Joe Dupree in motion. White on a play-action fake is setting up, chased by Keena Turner. Flag on the play, and the ball is dumped off at midfield, intended for Drew Pearson. But there was a flag, so let's wait and see. Keena Turner, the only man here, and is holding against the Cowboys. Great pressure by Turner.
There's Keena Turner blitzing on the play, and look at the holding. Ron Springs, number 20. He doesn't hold him, he tackles him.
Turner's the one man in the ballpark who can say a pox on you and mean it.
That's right.
He's got bad case of chicken pox, and that'll put the ball back at the 32.
Holding, offense, 10 yards, still first down.
So first and 20 from the 32. Here are the officials. Jim Tunney. The umpire is Bob Boylston. Then you have Ed Marion, Bob Beach, Ray Douglas, Dean Look, Ed Merrifield, Gordon McCarter, and Dave Moss, the alternate. So first and 20 by Danny White. Tony Hill goes wide left. Drew Pearson wide right. Dorsett behind Springs out of the eye. It's a draw to Dorsett. Herbert Scott blocking Turner, but he couldn't handle 2, and down goes Dorsett. So as Scott went after Keena Turner, that left it open for Archie Reese, number 78, to make the tackle. Interesting note about Dorsett, 100-yard plus, they're a lock. He went 28-1. The one game he lost to the Giants. However, if you keep him under 50 yards, all of a sudden it's a iffy proposition.
And that last time they had a nice hold. They were in a zone defense, and the end came right up the field. The defensive end, Dwayne Board, number 76. For that reason, it was a big cavity inside, and he took advantage of it with a nice gain on the draw play.
No, it is 2nd and 15 from the 37-yard line. Pitch back to Dorsett, chased by John Hardy, and he cuts across the 45 to about the 47-yard line. Hardy finally caught up to him along with Bobby Leopold, and Dorsett holding his mask, and we'll see now if he has been shaken up. Ron Springs was blocking for him. Dorsett. Take another look at that play and see if we can pick off what happened to him.
This is what he likes to do. He likes to go outside from the I formation, Springs out in front, doing a good job of blocking 59 Harper. He tries to cut back and slips in the process, and it's really hard to tell what really took place as to why he is holding his face on the play as he fell to the ground.
Everybody waiting to see the disposition of Tony Dorsett. It's 7-0 Niners.
All over America, the word is on the street. The boss is back. It's Mustang GT with a 5-liter high-output engine, performance suspension, and options like a T-roof and Recaro seats. So whether your street is Sunset or Woodward Avenue or Route 66 through Amarillo, the word is out. It's Mustang GT. The boss is back.
Now there's a place where they have their own authorized mechanics, quality parts and service, and prices you can afford. Now there's K-Care, found only at Kmart.
Will your battery make it through the winter? Come in for a complimentary charging system check. If your battery needs replacing, we can install our 560 maintenance-free battery. It's powerful and sale priced at just $54.88. Our best maintenance-free battery. It never needs water. That's K-Care, only at Kmart.
A beautiful heiress in a coma. Her aristocratic husband accused of putting her there. Accident or attempted murder? A jet-set whodunit on the CBS Evening News Monday.
Well, we can ease the worries in Texas. Dorsett walked off the field under his own power. Now we can show you what happened to him.
Yes, Dwight Hicks, it looks like, came across to make the play, and in the process, 22 watching him. I think he kneed him in the face.
Or the foot.
Or the foot, yes, unintentionally, of course, and that's what happened on the play.
It was a gain of 8 for Tony, so it is a 3rd and 7 at the 45 as they work apparently on the left side of his face. We have 7:57 in the first quarter, 7-0 49ers, and here come the Cowboys. Tony Hill goes wide left. Pearson and Donnelly are in a slot right. Donnelly, number 83, extremely fast. Butch Johnson is in there. And Danny White going deep down the right side. A great catch by Butch Johnson at the 35. Dropped at the 34-yard line by Ronnie Lott. But what a marvelous circus catch by Butch Johnson.
And he almost slipped and fell coming off the line of scrimmage. He was detained a little bit by Ronnie Lott, 42. But this is a sensational catch way up above. It looked like he was going to lose the ball, but in the process caught it at a beautiful, beautiful play by Butch Johnson, number 86.
Meanwhile, Herbert Scott just pushed Fred Dean into the pile on a stunt, and they kept the big man off the rush, and Danny White had plenty of time. 1st and 10 on the 49er 35-yard line as White hit a big one to Butch Johnson. James Jones now is the deep back on the draw. It's Jones, grabbed at the line of scrimmage by Archie Reese, number 78. Archie Reese was originally drafted by Pittsburgh. They opted to keep Dwight White, and he was picked up on waivers by San Francisco, and he's really been important to them.
Oh, you can't play the 3-4 unless the man on the nose, 78 in this particular case, Archie Reese. Look, he plays off the block of the center. The great thing about it is he uses his hands terrifically well and was able to make that play for that reason.
He was 6'5" and 250, but they called him Pee-wee because he said, "You ought to see my brother." 2nd and 11, they draw to James Jones, circling back, grabbed by Willie Harper, and dropped at the 30-yard line. Meanwhile, Tony Dorsett holding ice underneath that left eye, where I believe the foot got him going by. Tom Landry, of course, sending his people in and out, and so are the 49ers.
They go to a 4-man front. They bring Pillars in, number 65. And Board, who normally plays right in, now plays left in, and Dean plays the right in position.
Pearson and Billy Joe Dupree go wide left. Tony Hill goes wide right. and you have Ron Springs and James Jones, and they both release. So White, with a lot of receivers, throwing to Jones, who makes the reception. It's not enough for a first down, as Bobby Leopold was all over him. He's about 2 yards shy at the 27. Meanwhile, Rafael Septien loosening up in case they call his number. And they're going to do that right now. And he is 27 out of 35 in field goals. 1 for 1 in the playoffs. He had a 32-yarder against Tampa Bay. His longest 47, and he did that twice. And his biggest day this year, he had 4 field goals against Washington and New England.
James Jones really did a poor job of running the pattern. That time he had 6 yards to go and he ran a route. It was only 4 yards deep.
And the 45-yard effort by Septien is good. So out of the hole by Charlie Waters, Rafael Septien kicks a 45-yarder, and it is San Francisco 7, Dallas 3, and the joint's warming up.
All across the country, you'll see signs announcing the best gas mileage car in America, the Honda Civic 1300 FE, with an estimated EPA 41 miles per gallon and a remarkable 55 estimated highway miles per gallon. Use 41 for comparison. Your mileage may vary. So every time you see this sign, think of this car, the new fuel-efficient Honda Civic.